Have you ever been in a room full of people and still felt completely alone? The phone doesn't ring, the texts stop coming, the world keeps spinning, but you feel like you've been pushed off the carousel of life. This is loneliness. But what if loneliness isn't your enemy? What if it's your greatest teacher? Napoleon Hill taught that every adversity, every painful moment carries within it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. That includes loneliness. That includes the silent nights, the unanswered questions, and the quiet ache in your chest. Hill didn't just speak about riches. He spoke about the real wealth of life, purpose, peace, clarity, and control over the mind, the wealth that starts inside. Loneliness doesn't come to break you. It comes to test you, to ask you, who are you when the world is quiet? The answer starts with purpose. When you don't know why you wake up in the morning, your mind begins to wander and loneliness fills the space. But the moment you define a purpose, no matter how small, the mind begins to reorganize itself. Purpose is not a huge dream written in lights. Sometimes purpose is just telling yourself, today I will not quit. Today I will take care of myself. Today I will move forward. Because a person with a purpose is never truly alone. Their mission walks with them. But purpose alone is not enough. You need faith. And not just faith in the universe or in some vague higher power. You need faith in yourself. Because Hill said, faith is the starting point of all accumulation of riches. In your loneliest hours, it's easy to doubt yourself. But doubt is the darkness and faith is the light. The two cannot exist in the same space. So feed your mind the belief that you are not forgotten, you are not finished, and you are not powerless. Repeat to yourself, I am becoming stronger every day. This challenge is preparing me for something greater. Your mind believes what you tell it, especially when you say it with emotion. That's auto-suggestion. He'll believe that if you repeat a thought with belief and clarity, it will embed itself into your subconscious, and your actions will follow. So even when you feel broken, say it anyway. Say, I am healing. Say, I am not alone. Say, I am rising. Words carry power. They are seeds. Keep planting. Now, maybe you're thinking, I don't have anyone. I'm isolated. But Napoleon Hill taught the power of the mastermind, that when two or more minds come together in harmony, a new power is formed. And even if you can't find that person right now, you're not without allies. Books, voices, wisdom, they count. They uplift. They realign your thinking. You are never truly alone when you surround your mind with great minds. And while you wait for the right people to show up, keep walking with persistence. Hill said there is no substitute for persistence. Loneliness wants you to quit. Pain wants you to stop. But your persistence, even small, quiet persistence, is more powerful than any obstacle. You win by showing up, not just when it's easy, but when it's unbearable, especially then. And you'll find that what you thought was the end was actually the beginning of the best version of you, but you must face your fears. Hill listed 6. Fear of poverty, fear of criticism, fear of ill health, fear of loss of love, fear of old age, and fear of death. Most of us carry more than one. These fears whisper in your mind when you're alone, but they lose power the moment you name them and challenge them. Fear thrives in darkness. Bring it into the light. Write it down. Talk about it. Confront it. Then act despite it. Because fear is just imagination without direction. Hill also said, tell me how you use your time, and I'll tell you what your future looks like. If your environment is filled with negativity, your mind will absorb it. So create an environment that nurtures growth. Read, think, move, breathe, disconnect from noise, and connect to yourself. Your challenge is not a punishment, it's a preparation. The greatest lessons come wrapped in silence, confusion, and delay. And they ask you, will you choose growth or will you give in? There's a decision that you've been avoiding. You know what it is. And Hill taught that successful people make decisions quickly and change them slowly. Waiting creates doubt. Acting creates clarity. So what will you decide today? And after the decision, take action. That's the final key. All the knowledge, all the purpose, all the faith, it means nothing if you don't take one bold step. One message sent, one habit changed, one step taken. That's all it takes to begin. Action is the bridge between dreams and reality. So if you're tired of being stuck, move, even slowly, even imperfectly. But move. You are not broken. You are becoming. This is your process. And if you've listened this far, I want you to say it out loud, even just in a whisper. I am not alone. I am he. You see, loneliness isn't always a punishment. Sometimes it's a pause, a sacred moment gifted by life to reset, reframe, and remember who you are without all the noise. In that stillness, your true self rises. You begin to realize you were never meant to chase people, to beg for love, to perform for validation. You were meant to create, to serve, to grow, to lead. But you can't become that version of yourself if you're surrounded by distractions all the time. That's why loneliness can be a sacred teacher if you listen. Napoleon Hill spoke of the subconscious mind like a garden. Whatever you plant there, watered by emotion and repetition, becomes your reality. So when you're alone, what are you planting? Are you planting regret, self-pity, fear? Or are you planting resilience, vision, purpose? Because whether you're surrounded by 1,000 people or no one at all, your mind is always listening. Hill also warned about the greatest enemy of success, drifting. Drifting is when you let life decide for you. You follow the crowd. You act out of habit. You exist without intention. Loneliness, if not managed with awareness, can lead you to drifting, falling into routines that slowly rob you of your ambition, your self-worth, and your soul. But the moment you say, enough, I will no longer drift, I will design, that's the moment you take your power back. And designing your life doesn't begin with the perfect job or relationship or bank account. It begins with the decision to rise right where you are, with nothing but your breath, your will, and your imagination. Imagination, Hill believed, is the workshop of the soul. It is there that you begin shaping the life you want to live, not by wishing for it, but by seeing it, feeling it, and moving toward it. So in your quiet hours, imagine, who do you want to become? What kind of energy do you want to bring into a room? What kind of peace do you want to sleep with at night? What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? And then choose just one small act that honors that vision, a workout, a journal entry, a prayer, a thank you message, a deep breath. Every act you take becomes a statement, I am not lost. I am in transition, because that's what loneliness really is, a transition. From the old self to the new self, from the broken identity to the empowered one, from silence to significance. And yes, there will be moments of relapse, days when it hurts, nights when you wonder if you'll ever feel whole again. That's okay. Healing is not a straight line, growth is not painless, and transformation never happens in comfort. But remember Hill's words, strength and growth come only through continuous effort and struggle. And you're not struggling because you're weak. You're struggling because you're becoming stronger. Every tear has wisdom. Every setback has a lesson. Every lonely night has a secret waiting for you to unlock it. So stay awake, stay faithful, stay moving, not for applause, not for attention, but because you have decided that your life is worth living fully, courageously, intentionally. And as the days go by, you'll notice something extraordinary. The loneliness starts to fade, not because the world changes, but because you do. You become more focused, more grounded, more radiant. You start attracting people who are drawn to your purpose, not your pain. You begin to connect from a place of overflow, not need. You no longer fear being alone, you cherish it. Because you now understand solitude isn't the absence of life, it's the womb of greatness. And now you're ready to be born again, as a person who no longer runs from silence, but rules in it, as a soul who no longer avoids hardship, but grows through it, as a leader who no longer asks, why me, but confidently says, try me, because this is your turning point. So breathe in, let go of the story that told you you're not enough. Exhale the guilt, the fear, the doubt, and whisper to yourself, even if your voice trembles, I am still here, I am still capable, I am still becoming. Napoleon Hill gave you the blueprint. Now it's your turn to build.